Good evening and welcome. Before I call this meeting to order, I'd like to say a few words on this very important national holiday, Martin Luther King Day. And I want to thank especially all our young students that participated in the march that we had this morning, their sponsors, the parents, and let's not forget the great work that Dr. Martin Luther King did in regard to treating each other with dignity, respect, tolerance, patience, and standing up for what is right, especially in these times that we hear rhetoric that is different to that. I just want to call attention to our young people that you are our young leaders of tomorrow, and we hope that you learn so much from having a special day in honor of Dr. Martin Luther King and all the work that he did, and administration for allowing this day to be a holiday for students. With that being said, I'd like to call this regular board meeting to order. This January 20th, 2020 meeting of the Board of Trustees of the San Felipe Duro CISD. Madam Secretary, would you call roll?
Mr. Contreras?
Present.
Ms. Manawato-Webb?
Present.
Ms. Haynes?
Here.
Mr. Mesa?
Here.
Mr. Overfelt?
Present.
Mr. Smith? And myself. Sir, we have a quorum.
Thank you very much. Let the record show that we do have a quorum of board members and that this meeting has been duly called in accordance with the Texas Open Meetings Act, Texas Government Code, Chapter 551. At this time, we will have opening ceremonies, first with a moment of silence for personal reflection, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. Would you please stand with me?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much. First item of business that we have on our agenda tonight is recognitions, and we have the Fine Arts recognition. Ricardo Rios.
Good evening, President Mesa, Dr. Rios, and members of the board. This evening, we're going to be showcasing one of our elementary schools. Right here, right next door, we're going to be featuring our Garfield Elementary under the direction of Mrs. K.C. Morales. And we've been doing a lot of the secondary programs, but today we're going to go ahead and showcase some of our elementary kids and kind of go in line with our School Board Recognition Month. And so I'll turn it over to Mrs. Morales. take you again to the Garfield Elementary Choir in the direction of Mrs. Casey Morales. We have, in our elementary music programs, we do have an all-district choir, and this is just, again, just one school represented. But all of our elementary teachers, they get together and they put their choirs together for different community events, a lot of events that they do around Christmas time, and then they'll do other events also in the spring. But we do have very active elementary music teachers and helping our students, showcasing them in different places. And so we hope you enjoyed this evening in the Garfield Elementary Choir. And thank you so much for your support of the Fine Arts program. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I want to thank all the children involved, and again, their teacher, and of course the parents for being here. What a wonderful occasion to have a live presentation by the choir, Garfield. Next item we have on our agenda is recognition of Campus Teacher of the Week, Aidea Garcia.
Good evening, President Mesa, Dr. Rios, members of the board. The Teacher of the Week incentive program is designed to spotlight the most dedicated and talented teachers. These teachers that we're going to present today have been featured in our social media, and tonight we're going to introduce them and present them with a certificate from their principal. For Teacher of the Week, for the week of December 2nd through the 6th, from Del Rio Middle School, we have Mr. David Gomez Jr., PE teacher. And Principal, Mrs. Cynthia Salas. She's coming up. No, we saw her here earlier today. She's not there. Okay, so we are, let me see where's the certificate? Okay, so we'll get your certificate in just a minute, okay? Thank you. Yes, all right. Let's give them another big round of applause. Good job. Okay, next we have from Early College High School, Wendy Morgan, English dual credit teacher, and her principal, Ms. Patsy Rodriguez. For the week of December 9th through the 13th, we have from Del Rio High School, Nicole Garza, science teacher, and principal, Dr. Perez. From Garfield Elementary, we have Hilda Barrera Martinez, kindergarten teacher, and assistant principal, Tiffany Perez. Also for the same week of December 9th through the 13th, from North Heights Elementary, we have Marisa Perez, fourth grade teacher, and her principal, Ms. Maite Solis. For our Teacher of the Week for December 16th through the 20th, from Blended Academy, we have Robert Lopez, MAPS teacher, and principal, Alda Zuniga. From Dr. Fermin Calderon, we have Yasmin Zuniga Velasquez, kindergarten teacher, and principal, Ms. Jane Villarreal. And at this time, if we can come forward to take a picture, and President Mesa and Dr. Rios, if you can join the group. Thank you very much, teachers, for all your hard work and dedication.
Just want to say thank you again, teachers. We have awesome teachers in our district, and this is a great example of starting the year out right with recognition of Teacher of the Week. Congratulations. And as I always say, I hope the family takes them out for a steak dinner or something. Next item that we have is school board recognition. Dr. Rios, I think, wants to read the proclamation.
Mr. Mesa, members of the board, it is my honor to read a proclamation from Governor of Texas, Mr. Greg Abbott. Every day across the Lone Star State, young Texans learn and grow as they prepare to be the next generation of leaders of our state and nation. As such, providing students with a well-rounded education is vital to the development of young people as well as the progress of this great state. Though many may not realize it, the school board plays a crucial role in ensuring our precious children receive the best education possible by working with parents, education professionals, and community members to create successful learning environments. There is no doubt that the monumental task of providing a high-quality education to every diversifying and talented student population is daunting. However, school board members, along with other dedicated school officials, have tackled this task with a determination that has turned challenges into opportunities to face important issues, develop innovative solutions, and empower educators. At this time, I encourage all Texans to join in celebrating the work and success of our many school board members across Texas who play an important role in the education of the Texas youth. As we invest in the future of young Texans, we will secure a better tomorrow for the Lone Star State. Therefore, I, Greg Abbott, Governor of Texas, do hereby proclaim January 2020 to be School Board Recognition Month in Texas and urge the appropriate recognition whereof. An official recognition whereof, I hereby affix my signature this 30th day of December 2019. Greg Abbott, Governor of Texas. Thank you, Mr. Mesa and board members.
Thank you, sir. And I just want to say I thank all the board members that stand here with me and say that these are dedicated individuals that have served throughout the district in many different capacities in the community, but they give of themselves the time and their talents to the service of all involved, our employees and our students and our parents. So again, thank you, board members. First item we have is presentation by Sandra.
Yes,
Another-
Dr. Rios, Mr. Mesa. Also, in honoring the Texas Association of School Boards, recognizes our school boards. And as you see, coming into the Student Performance Center, we have a central theme. And certainly your work has allowed our students to soar to those new heights and go above and beyond. I'd like to introduce each of the campuses who at this time would like to present our board members in recognition of School Board Appreciation Month. I'd like to begin with Irene C. Cardwell Elementary. And we have a presentation from the interim principal, Dr. Talamantes, and her staff. Our next campus is Roberto Bobby Barrera STEM Magnet School, and I will ask if the administrator would like to say a few words. Anyone would like to welcome or do a presentation, please come up.
Good evening, Dr. Rios and members of the board. Just like rocket science, educating children is a complex and demanding responsibility. The Board of Trustees have dedicated their time to ensure that schools are available, qualified teachers are in place, buildings are safe, and resources are provided. They commit to reading reports, learning laws, understanding the community's needs, setting thoughtful goals, and wisely handling the district's financial resources.
All of you have signed on for the responsibility and hard work of making our schools the best they can be. You generously place us first to make good decisions that will provide for students from the very youngest to the graduating senior.
We would like to take a moment to honor all the work you have done to help our students blast off into the future.
We would like to thank you all for your continuous efforts and dedication to our district.
On behalf of RBB Elementary, thank you.
Next, we have Buena Vista Elementary.
Buena Vista Student Council would like to thank the 2019-2020 SFDR CISD school board members for their dedication and service to the future leaders of Del Rio. In your honor, we have dedicated a new personalized podium to Buena Vista Elementary.
Next, we have representatives from Dr. Fermin Calderon Elementary.
Good evening, Board President, Dr. Rios, and members of the Board. I, Carlos Suarez, President of our Student Council at Dr. Fermin Calderon Elementary, along with our principals, staff, and entire student body, would like to thank you for all your hard work and dedication. Because of each and every one of you, our school is truly a place of excellence where all of us have a chance to make a difference. All of your efforts are truly appreciated. Thank you for all that you do.
We now welcome Ruben Chavita Elementary for their presentation.
Good evening, Mr. Mesa, Dr. Rios, and Board. We'd like to, on behalf of Ruben Chavita, we would like to thank you for your time and dedication and all the hours that you put in to help us every day. Thank you.
Now we welcome Dr. Lonnie Green Elementary.
Good evening, Dr. Rios, school board members. A book has been purchased for each of you and donated to the Dr. Lonnie Green Library in your name. Please accept this token of our appreciation. Thank you for launching the next generation.
We are now honored to welcome Lamar Elementary.
Good evening, school board members and Dr. Rios. My name is Adrian Wren, and I am the Student Council President at Lamar Elementary. I would like to start off by saying thank you. Thank you for the countless hours of work and dedication you put into making our wonderful school district the best it could possibly be. Each and every single board member plays a vital part in improving the district's well-being, and for that, we are forever grateful. I, as well as all of the students and staff at Lamar Elementary, would like to applaud you for your devotion and willingness to make today's students become tomorrow's leaders. Thank you.
Our next representatives come from Garfield Elementary.
Good evening. My name is Devin Casillas, and I am the Garfield Student Council President. Garfield Elementary would like to extend their gratitude for the amazing support our board members give to our school, staff, and students. Thank you for thinking about our future and providing what we need in order to succeed. Saying our school board is out of this world would be an understatement. Our school board is out of this universe. Thanks again for being the brightest stars we can follow to success.
I'm honored to introduce to you North Heights Elementary.
Good evening, Dr. Rios and members of the board. I am John Vasquez, president of North Heights Student Council. North Heights Elementary would like to offer our appreciation for the limitless volunteer hours needed for the growth of our district. School board members are just ordinary people with extraordinary hearts. You offer the gift of time to listen, to help, to inspire, and to grow. You expect no pay, yet the value of your work knows no limit. School board members are volunteers who reach out, take a hand, and together make a difference that
Jr., which exemplifies the goal and mission of San Felipe del Rio CISD. The function of education is to reach one to think intensively and think critically. Intelligence plus character is the goal of true education. My name is Bess Coggins. I am the president of the National Technical Honor Society and am currently at the top of my class. I will be attending Texas A&M University at College Station. I will attain an endorsement in business, which will be invaluable when I become a veterinarian and open my own clinic. Thank you for empowering me to launch into my career path.
Good afternoon. My name is Alyssa Gonzalez, and I am senior class president. I will be attending Texas Southern University, which is one of the largest HBCUs in the country. Being part of the varsity softball team for 4 years has given me the skills, discipline, and sportsmanship to continue playing softball at the collegiate level with an athletic and academic scholarship. Thank you so much for empowering me to launch into my career path.
Good evening, my name is Carissa Ponce. I am president of the Media Tech Club, and I will be attending Folsom University in Florida to major in cinematography. With my skills, I have worked as a photographer for my community in the past 2 years. Thank you for empowering me to launch into my career path.
Hi, my name is Lamar Coleman. I'm the National Honor Society president. I will be attending the University of Texas at Austin. I have served in the Superintendent Student Advisory Council for the past 3 years, which has inspired me to major in youth and community studies. Thank you for empowering me to launch into my career path.
My name is Austin Mercier. I am the Chief of Strategy and Driver for the robotics team. I will be attending Baylor University and majoring in biology. Leadership and critical thinking skills have paved the way to my decision of becoming a medical doctor. Thank you for empowering me to launch in my career path.
My name is Victoria Rios. I am the Cte Emt Ambassador. I will be attending Texas A&M University at College Station. With my skills and certification, I will pursue a job at the Quack Shack, the campus clinic, just as my dad recommended, and major in biology. Thank you for empowering me to launch into my career path.
My name is Lisa Garza. I am the president of the FCCLA Culinary Chapter. With my skills, I work as a caterer after school. In the fall, I will be attending Angelo State University and majoring in criminal justice. Thank you for empowering me to launch into my career path.
My name is Madison Perkins. I'm the president of FCCLA. I will be attending Texas A&M University. The Ready Set Teach program gave me the skills to work in an after-school care program, which has influenced my decision to major in education. Thank you for empowering me to launch into my career path.
Before we close out our recognitions, we have one more representative from the Texas State Teachers Association who would also like to recognize the board.
Good evening, Dr. Rios and members of the board. As the Vice President of the TSTA organization, we would like to present you with a small token of appreciation. Your dedication, hard work, and commitment to excellence has significantly enhanced the overall performance of our school district. Again, thank you for all you do.
Thank you so much, school board members, and thank you for launching us into the next generation.
Thank you. I just want to say we have awesome speakers. Our young people are doing a tremendous job. I think some of them, I know Mr. Contreras wanted to interview some of them already for jobs that might be available. Next item we have on our agenda is citizens to be heard. We have one sign-up sheet that's been turned in. We allow 5 minutes for each person to speak. Under the Texas Open Meetings Act, the board is not permitted to discuss or act upon any issues that are not posted on the agenda for tonight's meeting. Under the Texas Open Meetings Act, the board may exercise its authority to discuss certain subject matters in closed session, including matters involving individual district staff members and individual students. If your comment concerns one of these subjects, please address your concern through the complaint policies described above, through of course, a grievance process. Finally, please be aware that the rules of the decorum will be enforced during public comment period. Personal attacks, name calling, and rude or slanderous remarks will not be tolerated. Each participant is legally responsible for the content and consequences of his or her own statements. And I just want to say, we do not name personnel by name. We speak in general. If the person is speaking about a school principal, you may say school principal, teacher, administration, but we will not name individuals by name. At this time, I will recognize Ariel Ortiz, subject to be discussed as topic addressing the board. Ms. Ortiz. Again, a reminder to speak in general. We are not going to name any individuals, just in general, either school principal, teacher, administration.
Good evening, members of the board. I'd like to start off by thanking y'all for everything y'all do for our district. We know that it's a lot of time and energy that you consume, but we know it's for the best of our community and the best for our students. So thank you for all you do. My name is Ariel Ortiz. I've dedicated many years to this school district. I'm almost given my life for this school district. I am the father of 4 beautiful children, 2 of them who are currently in our schools today. I am the husband to a beautiful wife who also works for this great school district. However, that family portrait nearly changed drastically. I am here today to ask the San Felipe School Board of Trustees to put all politics aside when we meet later this evening in closed session. In closing, I'd like to read a quote that Mr. Mesa has on his school board page. It's a quote by Helen Keller that couldn't describe my situation any better than how I feel and what I've gone through. Helen Keller states, "Character cannot be developed in ease and quiet. Only through the experience of trial and suffering can the soul be strengthened, vision cleared, ambition inspired, and success achieved. Again, I would like to thank the school board for giving me this opportunity to speak. And again, all politics aside, when we go into closed session. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. At this time, we will go item number 8, reports. We do not have any other items under public hearings, board members report. Again, reports. First item we have is 8A, campus fund balance report. Mr. Henry Arredondo.
Good evening, President Mesa, board members, Dr. Rios. We have prepared again the campus budget report, and I provided a copy, put it on your dais there. All the principals are here. If you have any questions, I don't expect for you to go through every report. The first page is a summary, and then there's a tab for each school. If you have any questions, feel free to contact me via email, or I can relay any questions that you have to any of the principals. Again, there's no action on this item. I just wanted to present the report, and if you have any questions later on, feel free to contact me.
Yes, Dr. Rios.
Yes, I wanted to remind the board that last summer, y'all asked for a report as to how much money the campuses had available and were teachers being provided the appropriate resources. At that time, I committed to sharing with y'all a quarterly report as to how the budget was progressing. This would be the first report. Moving forward, we will make this report available through the weekly update that you receive. But as Mr. Arredondo said, the first page is the summary. If you have any questions about any one campus, whether it be myself, Mr. Arredondo, or the campus principals, we're available to indicate the balances.
And I appreciate the efforts made by administration, Mr. Arredondo, in making sure we have the figures for each campus and the function code, especially for the people that have not had the school experience of working with budgets. So I appreciate every category that you have. I know the last time we had questions in regard to what function it was. Thank you again, board members. This is for, again, for you to look over, and if you have any questions, we will bring those questions later to you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next item is item 8B, attendance and discipline report, term 3. Michelle Smith.
As always, Mr. Mesa, we provide the report in advance, and Ms. Smith is prepared to go through the report or answer individual questions, whatever the board pleases.
Board members, any questions? Hearing none, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Next item is 8C, facilities and construction report. Mr. Henge.
Good evening, President Mesa, Dr. Rios, members of the board. For our facilities and construction monthly report, we'll take a look at the status of Dr. Lonnie Green's driveway expansion and some of the projects we had going on before the holidays over at Del Rio High School, to include the 400 wing renovation, dining hall, ROTC marching pad, and 900 wing, part of the ESCO project. And then we'll touch on Del Rio freshman life skills renovation. Dr. Lonnie Green elementary driveway expansion, we've completed the waiting area or the canopy there. We still have fencing that will be going up between now and next month, and the canopy for the walkway going from this waiting area to the campus will be constructed in summer of 2020. But at this point, we are considering this project to be substantially completed. Del Rio High School 400 wing renovation. We've completed the move transition that was going to be taking place over the Christmas break, and classes are going there now, no problems with that. This is a picture of the new water fountain area, the main hall, if you will. The student restroom stalls, the permanent ones, were going in this morning, so those should be completed before the students come back to class tomorrow. This is a photo of one of the classrooms over in that area. All technology's up and running. Staff has been moved at this point, so overall the project, we're considering it to be substantially completed. There is a small punch list that the architect is working with the contractors on right now as we wait for a few more items to come in. The photos in the upper right-hand corner, you can see the new teacher lounge, as well as one of the restroom facilities that they have there in the teacher's lounge. Dining hall renovation. The microwave stations were completed over the break. There's a couple photos of that. And the kiosk area was also completed over the break time. We have 3 TVs facing there now, so they can show what their menu is and use that for different announcements between our food service department, as you know, to the students. And the lower level round tables are expected to be here around the middle of next month. Those have been on order for a little while now. Again, we feel this project is at substantial completion. Of course, we do have more work to do at the high school yet as far as the ceiling and different things like that, the fire suppression, the ceiling and the floor, but those will have an update in the upcoming board meeting. ROTC marching pad, that's been completed over the break as well. This photo here shows the pavement is completed, as well as the striping was done over the break. And here's an aerial view of what that looks like. Again, that project right now is at substantial completion. We did have a couple more requests that came in for basketball hoops and things like that. So again, it's a little punch list, but the majority of the project is done now. 8 and 900 wing. Snyder and Columbia are partnered back up to start working in that area. The scope of their project entails replacing the heating and air conditioning just in the hall areas. There won't be any work moving forward in the classrooms at this time. Demo has been completed on the 800 and the 900. This photo here shows the spraying insulation that was put in at the 800, and work is taking place in the 900 to go through and get that sprayed as well. We have network cabling going on. The new units are starting to be hung today. And then we'll be following with hallway lighting, getting all the HVAC brought up and tested. That's projected, everything should be completed with that project by March 1 at the very latest. And then the hallways will have brand new ceilings put in once all the equipment's been in and tested. And the Del Rio Freshman Life Skills Project. We've been working with the architect, and the numbers that were submitted to us were extremely high versus the budget that we've allocated for it at this time. So currently we have a meeting set up with the cost estimator this week, and myself, Hector Chapa, and Dr. Rios will be meeting with the architect next week as a follow-up to develop a plan on how we're going to proceed with that project. Then we'll be bringing that information back and some hard choices will have to be made on what we need to do there. So right now, we've put the project on hold until we get past this next obstacle is how do we get the architect's numbers to match up with what our budget is, and then determine long-term what that project's going to look like. Questions?
Board members? I just want to say thank you for working on long hours. You know, I know the construction was going on after hours in the evening, and I know I went to a couple of football games, and there were people working there at night, and so a lot of work has been done, and it looks awesome. To me, it's just a big improvement to the learning environment for the students as well as for the staff. No one was forgotten in this phase of construction with, again, the updated teacher's lounge and restrooms and the dining hall. Everything looks great. And great use of, I know that there's a report coming out with TRE, tax ratification election monies. So it was put to good use. And again, I want to thank administration for working with staff and administrators and teachers and making this a very smooth transition during school hours. I know teachers had to relocate and principals had to make adjustments, but everything is looking great.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
Thank you. Next item we have on our agenda is item 9, consent agenda. Again, one action will approve all items on the consent agenda. Please look through, board members. I know that there are some minutes of the December 16th meeting. And again, lots of donations and other purchases. If you have any questions or would like to have any item pulled out separately or have any questions, we will do that prior to taking a vote. Before we do that, I'd like to call our Madam Secretary, if you could please read the donations.
VFW Post number 8552, $500 to Blended Academy. McDonald's, $659.43 to Buena Vista Elementary. The Spot and Pro Shop, $200 to Buena Vista Elementary. $100 to Dr. Fermin Calderon Elementary Student Council. $180 to Dr. Lonnie Green Elementary. $120 to North Heights Elementary. And $175 to Ruben Chavita Elementary. Life Touch National School Studios, $979.50 to Del Rio High School Student Council, $1,215 to Fermin Calderon Elementary, $1,728.30 to Dr. Lonnie Green Elementary, $254.70 to Early College High School, $1,968 to Irene C. Cardwell Elementary, $746.70 to Chavita Elementary. Del Rio Bank and Trust, $250, Del Rio Middle School, 7th grade student council. Marina Garcia, $100, Early College High School. Del Rio Host Lions Club, $188, North Heights Elementary Robotics. McDonald's, $545.90 to Chavita Elementary. Mr. Gaddy's, $181.67 to San Felipe Memorial Middle School. Julio's Seasoning and Corn Chips, 15 bags of chips and 15 containers of salsa. Total value $112.50 to Del Rio Middle School 7th grade. Russell's True Value, $125 gift certificate to Del Rio Middle School 7th grade. City Church of Del Rio, 110 bags of groceries. Total value $660 to Calderon Elementary. Southwest Texas Junior College, canned goods, total value $200 to Calderon Elementary. Parents of Early College High School, 50 pizzas, water bottles, cupcakes, 13 shirts, and 8 $10 gift cards. Estimated value $600 to Early College High School. Silvi Vara, snacks, estimated value $175 to Early College High School. First United Methodist Church, 40 bags of food, estimated value $400, Garfield Elementary. Air Force Federal Credit Union, 2 bicycles and 2 helmets, estimated value $191, Cardwell Elementary. Border Federal Credit Union, 10 coats, estimated value $150 to Cardwell Elementary. Border Pipe and Supply, 2 bicycles and 2 helmets, estimated value $180 to Cardwell Elementary. Del Rio Christian Fellowship, food, estimated value $420 to Cardwell Elementary. Del Rio High School Student Council, canned goods, estimated value $100 to Cardwell Elementary. Dick Owens, 1 turkey, estimated value $15 to Cardwell Elementary. Brother Sam Matthews, 1 coat, 1 pair of pants, 1 pair of shoes, estimated value $30 to Cardwell Elementary. Rustic Barber and Salon, 1 Walmart gift card, $30 value, Cardwell Elementary. San Felipe Lions Club, 25 turkeys and 25 jackets, estimated value $887.08 to Cardwell Elementary. Starbucks, coffee, creamer, sugar, and cups, estimated value $124.49 to Cardwell Elementary. Mary Ann Stevens, 2 100-gallon fish tanks, stands, and filters, estimated value $800 to North Heights Elementary. North Heights STEM Booster Club, 2 $20 gift cards to North Heights Elementary. Thank you.
Thank you. And as always, we're grateful for individuals and businesses contributing to our district and utilizing funds to assist our programs and our students as well. Thank you again to all that donate to our district. Board members, are there any questions before we take action? I have one question in regard to item G1. If someone could answer that for me.
Yes, sir.
It's a Bell Institute training.
Yes, sir.
I didn't see the number of participants. I saw the number, the 2-day and the Learning Achievers 2, but I don't have an exact number of participants.
Yes, sir, Mr. Mesa, it's 55 total.
55?
It'll be all the principals, assistant principals, cabinet, and directors.
Okay, I saw that number is group 55.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is a follow-up, right? Dr. Luis?
Yes, sir. This is the follow-up to
The sequel?
The sequel. Yes, sir. Yeah.
Okay.
I need to
Yes. Dr. Luis?
Wanted to remind our board members that in this last week's update, I included a description for F2. And in case, I know I sent the report a little bit late, so if you didn't get to read it, I just wanted to mention that we have a contract with ERO that says that they will do a master design on the high school, and after the master design is complete, then we'll begin to engage in work by section. But the master design is going to take the rest of the school year, yet we promised the fire marshal that we would do the fire suppression system by the end of the summer, which is 1 year after they allowed us to open the cafeteria with the renovations. Therefore, we're still in the spirit of the contract, but to be transparent, we are only doing the redesign of the ceiling and the floor in the cafeteria and beginning with the actual construction of it rather than finishing the design of the entire cafeteria. But we did tell the fire marshal that a year later we would have the fire suppression system complete. So we can't wait. It's no additional money yet as to what you all have already allowed us to spend, but we do change the sequence of it, and we wanted to be transparent about that.
So did everyone understand that there's an addition to our agenda on the paper copy we have in front of me? Okay, with that being said, I will entertain a motion for approval for consent agenda. Mr. Contreras, is there a second? Ms. Gonzalez, all those in favor, please indicate by raising your right hand. Motion carries unanimously.
Mr. Oldfield wasn't here. Just for the record.
Yeah, for the record, Mr. Orveld had to leave early today, so he will not be in attendance. He's on the phone. Oh, he's on the phone? Okay, well, okay. I know he indicated to me he might leave early today. Therefore, we have approved the consent agenda. We have taken action. We go to item 10A, administration. Consideration to approve the order of election for school district trustees. Election to be held on May 20th, 2020. Sandra Hernandez.
Good evening again, Mr. Mesa, Dr. Rios, and members of the board. In compliance with the election code, the Board of Trustees of the San Felipe Del Rio Consolidated Independent School District must approve an order of election establishing the procedures for filing and conducting said election. The last day to order a general election is Friday, February 14th, 2020. This is why we are ordering the election in January. The school board elections will be held Saturday, May 2nd, 2020 for the following positions. Place 2, currently held by Mr. Joshua D. Overfelt. Place 6, currently held by Ms. Diana Gonzalez. Place 7, currently held by Ms. Amy Haynes. In accordance with the election calendar set by the Texas Secretary of State, the first day to file an application for candidacy begins on Wednesday, January 15, 2020 at 8 a.m., and the deadline to file an application is Friday, February 14, 2020 at 5 p.m. The board secretary, Diana Gonzalez, who serves as the school district filing authority for school board elections, will confirm the completeness of each candidate's application. Confirmed candidates will receive a written notice to participate in a ballot position drawing on Monday, February 24th, 2020. San Felipe Del Rio Consolidated Independent School District will participate in a joint election. Early voting by personal appearance will begin Monday, April 20th, 2020, and end on Tuesday, April 28, 2020, at the City of Del Rio Multipurpose Center. Polling locations on election day are at the Del Rio Civic Center, the San Felipe Memorial Middle School cafeteria, and the Del Rio Municipal Building. To meet compliance with Senate Bill 2, recently adopted by the 86th Texas Legislature, school board election information has been posted on the 2020 school board election webpage on the school district's website. Each of the election information will be updated on a regular basis as new information becomes available. And at this time, I can entertain any questions.
Questions from board members? Diana?
Is this the first time they've had early voting at that multipurpose center?
Yes,
formerly
ma'am.
known as Country Club? That's what it is?
Yes, ma'am. That is formerly known as a country club, and I believe that the Civic Center is not available during that time period.
That's what I was looking. I said, I'm trying to figure out where it was, and it said it's the Country Club. Okay, that's what
Yes, ma'am.
That's why. Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? Hearing none. Thank you so much for the information.
I'm going to read the recommendation.
Yep. Oh, we have to approve. Sorry.
Yes, sir. We have to approve. It is the recommendation of the administration that the Board of Trustees approve the order of election for the school district trustee elections to be held on May 2nd, 2020.
You have read the recommendation. Is there a motion for approval? Mr. Overfeld, seconded by Mrs. Webb. All those in favor? Motion carries unanimously. Thank you very
sir.
much. Next item we have is 11A, Curriculum Instruction. Consideration to approve new career and technical education CTE course offered at Del Rio High School for the 2020-2021 school year. Ida Gomez or Roger?
I believe we have the first reading next on the agenda.
Oh, I missed one item. I'm sorry. Administration 10B, consideration to approve the first reading of TASB Policy Update 114 affecting Policy BE Local, CKE Local, CKE Local, CQ Local, and CQB Local. Sandra Hernandez, I'm sorry.
Yes, sir. In this month's review by the district's Board Policy Review Committee meeting, 5 of the 18 local policies are being recommended for consideration and approval. The changes at Update 114 are based almost exclusively on legislation from the 86th regular legislative session. A recommended revision to BE Local reduces the notice to the board to 1 hour before calling an emergency meeting to align with the changes from Senate Bill 494. Revisions to CKC Local comply with the new requirements for the district's emergency operations plan to include policies on responding to an active shooter, which is noted in House Bill 2195, and access to campus buildings and materials necessary for a substitute teacher to carry out his or her duties during an emergency or an emergency drill. And that is also referenced in Senate Bill 11. To address Senate Bill 1707, CKE local was revised to include a statement which prohibits district peace officers from being assigned routine student discipline or school administrative tasks. Provisions on security breaches will be deleted from CQ local and moved to CQB local, where the corresponding legal authority is now coded. This new policy is recommended to address Senate Bill 820, which requires a cybersecurity policy, and House Bill 3834, which requires cybersecurity training of employees and board members. And I can answer any questions if you have any questions.
Questions from board members? Just want to say on behalf of the Policy Committee, Review Committee, I want to thank you for breaking up those 18 policies. Otherwise, we would have a marathon meeting and never end. So I know you're breaking it down to chunks. We have 5 today. We had 3 the last meeting.
Yes, sir.
And so I appreciate that.
Thank you.
There being no questions, then
I'll read the recommendation.
recommendation.
It is the recommendation of the administration that the Board of Trustees approve the first reading of TASB Policy Update 114 affecting policies BE local, board meetings, CKC local, safety program risk management, emergency plans, CKE local, safety program, risk management, security personnel, CQ local, technology resources, and CQB local, technology resources, cybersecurity, as presented by the Board Policy Review Committee.
You have heard the recommendation from administration. I will entertain a motion for approval. Mr. Contreras, seconded by Mr. Overfeld. All those in favor? Motion carries. Mr. Contreras, you voted, right? No. Motion carries unanimously.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Now we are on curriculum instruction 11A. Consideration to approve new career and technical education CTE course offered at Del Rio High School for the 2020-2021 school year. Roger Gonzalez.
Good evening, Mr. Mesa, Dr. Rios, and members of the board. Last month, I came in presenting the programs to study. Today, I am requesting a new course to be added. This course is under the CT Cluster of Architecture and Construction. The class is called Architectural Design 1. It is for 10th graders. Students will gain knowledge and skills needed to enter a career in architecture or construction and prepare the foundations for post-secondary degree in architect or construction science. So students will be able to obtain a certification in construction-related software. Current certifications in the cluster includes the AutoCAD and Rivet. Both are on the TA approved list of industry-based certifications. So this will give us additional, in trades and industries, additional technology.
Board members, questions?
Just a comment.
Mr. Overfeld.
As always, almost every year, thank you for going out and finding more and more stuff to add to our CTE portfolio and giving the students of this district more options there, because as we know, not everyone goes straight into college. Some go into the workforce, so thank you.
You're welcome.
I also want to echo that. You have done a tremendous job in bringing more courses and, again, making certificates available for students to gain, wages and sense of living, once they get the certification and work through college in these areas. So, again, thank you for being such an innovative director of our CTE program.
Thank you, sir.
Then you have heard the recommendation?
It is the recommendation of the administration that the Board of Trustees approve the new course available to Del Rio High School students as presented.
Thank you so much. Entertain a motion for approval. Mr. Overfeld, seconded by Mr. Contreras. All those in favor? Motion carries unanimously. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We do not have any items under 12, Technology and Operations. We have 13, Business Finance. A, consideration to approve comprehensive annual financial report for the 2018-2019 fiscal year. Mr. Henry Arredondo.
Good evening, Mr. Mesa, Dr. Rios, board members. In compliance with CFC Legal, the board shall have a district's fiscal accounts audited annually at district expense by a Texas certified or public accountant holding a permit from the State Board of Public Accountancy. A copy of the annual audit report approved by the board shall be filed with TEA no later than 150th day after the end of the fiscal year for which the audit was made. The 2018-2019 audit has been performed by Belt Harris Pachacek in compliance with the components of the Single Audit Act of 1984 and subsequent amendments, 1996 and OMB Circular A133, as well as many other guidelines, including but not limited to the American Institute of Certified Public Accountants, in Statement on Auditing Standards, SAS number 74 and 68, and Government Auditing Standards, GAS. Mike Brotherton, CPA and partner with Belt Harris Pachacek, is present to present the audit and answer any questions from the Board of Trustees.
Good evening. I'd like to start off by thanking Henry, Miss Yvonne Rodriguez, and the rest of the district staff for their help with the audit. Audits by nature are very time-consuming. On top of their day-to-day duties, they have to accommodate us and get us items we need to complete the audit, so thank you. We've issued a clean, unmodified opinion. That's the highest level of assurance that we as auditors can provide that the financials are free of any material misstatements. If you have the report in front of you, I'll just walk you through some of the financial highlights, and then I'll be happy to answer any questions. If you want to start off by turning to page 23, this is your statement of net position. It's your balance sheet on the full accrual basis, so it takes into account long-term items, your capital assets, your pension liability, OPEB liability. Your total assets as of August 31st, 2019 were around $151 million. $98.2 million was made up of capital assets. Your total liabilities were $139 million, and that left you with the total ending net position of $12.3 million. Last year was the first year of the implementation of the net OPEB liability. That's the retiree healthcare liability, or referred to as GASB 75. If there's any questions on that, that was introduced to the board last year. This is the first year of implementation last year. I'll be happy to answer those questions. As far as the TRS, the pension plan, it's currently around 74% funded. And there's no new accounting pronouncements this year that impacted the presentation of the report, so the report should look the same as last year. If you want to turn to page 26 and 27, we can look at the governmental funds balance sheet. This is presented on the modified accrual basis, where you're used to seeing budgets presented on in your governmental funds with your reports. Your first column there, your general fund, you had total assets of $41 million, liabilities of $4.4 million, and that left you with a total fund balance of just over $31 million. The recommendation or the rule of thumb is that you want your operating fund to have at least 25% or 3 months of annual expenditures in reserve. So currently the district's at 30% for the unassigned fund balance. When you factor in the commitments also, you're at 33%, so that's a healthy looking fund balance. On page 27, the far right, you can see what the total is for all your governmental funds, so your grant funds, your capital project funds. You're at $52.5 million for assets, liabilities of $11 million, and the total ending fund balance was $35.6 million. Lastly, we'll look at page 30 and 31 to see what the net impact was on fund balance. So the first column there at the bottom, you can see that the total ending fund balance decreased $169,000. The debt service fund had a decrease or use of fund balance of $519,000. And your food service program had an increase of fund balance of about $49,000. You can see on the far right, the total impact was a net decrease of about $14 million mainly related to the capital project fund and the various capital projects. There's nothing unique to point out in the report. Everything's been updated for current year information, and presentation should look the same as last year. If there's any questions, be happy to answer them.
This time, board members, questions from board members? Anyone? Hearing no questions, we really appreciate the work that has been done, and we're so happy to hear that it's a clean audit.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
And of course, more importantly, our fund balance looks healthy. So I want to thank everyone involved. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Rondo, and your staff.
Okay, we have the recommendation. It is the recommendation of the administration that the Board of Trustees approve the audit report for the 2018-2019 fiscal year as presented.
You have heard the recommendation from administration. Is there a motion for approval? Mrs. Webb, seconded by Mr. Contreras. All those in favor? Motion carries unanimously. Thank you, Mr. Rondo. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Next item we have is Business and Finance, item 13B, consideration to approve a list of qualified broker, dealer authorized to engage in investment transactions. Mr. Rondo.
Good evening again. This is just an update as a standard procedure. The Public Funds Investment Act, Texas Government Code, Chapter 2256, governs local government investment. The PFIA, Section 2256.025, requires the board to review, revise, and adopt a list of qualified broker-dealers authorized to engage in investment transactions. In accordance with the PFIA and the investment policy, a copy of the investment policy will be sent to each broker-dealer on the list whenever a material change is made to the policy, and each broker-dealer will be required to provide written certification of their review of the investment policy. There is a resolution, it should be on your desk there, that the board needs to adopt, and it has the list of the broker-dealers. It should be the following page there.
Yes. It's in our booklet. I saw the list of investors and brokers.
Okay.
Questions from board members? Hearing none, the recommendation, please.
Okay, it is the recommendation of the administration that the Board of Trustees approve the list of qualified broker-dealers authorized to engage in investment transactions.
You've heard the recommendation. I will entertain a motion for approval. Mr. Contreras, seconded by Mrs. Webb. All those in favor? Motion carried unanimously. Thank you, Mr. Arcano. Next item we have is Human Resources.
No, sir. 13C.
13C. It's on the revised agenda. 13C on the revised agenda. Consideration to take possible action to delegate authority pursuant to Education Code 44.0312 to the superintendent for procurement of services for due diligence feasibility on proposed site for the new elementary school project, not to exceed $30,000. Dr. Conrios.
Mr. Mesa, members of the board, last week we discussed the need to complete a feasibility study on the purchase that we may consider buying for the construction of the elementary. And at that time, we discussed having an agenda item and reposting the agenda on Thursday so that you all may approve that item and we could continue with planning a feasibility study. I did have to increase the amount or the recommended amount because the geological study in and of itself would have been the whole amount that we had initially talked about approving. so I increased it by a third. I certainly don't intend to spend the whole amount of money unless we have to, and I'll keep the board posted. But it's exactly what we talked about, plus the additional third of monies. Are there any questions, Mr. President?
Board members? I think everyone understands pretty much. We set the amount. It was over the amount that we had projected, and so this is the new amount. Being that there are no questions, Dr. Rios, would you read the recommendation, please?
Yes, sir. Board President Mesa, members of the board, is the recommendation of the administration that the Board of Trustees take action to delegate authority pursuant to Education Code 44.0312 to the superintendent for the procurement of services for due diligence feasibility on the proposed site for the new elementary school project not to exceed $30,000.
Thank you, sir. You've heard the recommendation. I will entertain a motion for approval. Mr. Contreras, seconded by Mr. Orfeld. Oh, Mr. Orfeld. Thank you. And all those in agreement, please indicate by raising your right hand. Motion carries unanimously. Thank you very much. Now we are Human Resources. Number 14A, consideration to approve updates to the 2019-2020 district compensation plans. Javier Garcia.
Good evening again. In your board packet, we included the compensation pay plan for the teacher stipend. We would like to recommend a change to the elementary certified bilingual teachers. We had 2 teachers that came and notified us that they were serving beginner intermediate students, but not in their homeroom. So then those teachers felt like they needed to get paid those additional $2,000, and administration did agree with that. So we're bringing it to the board for recommendation for approval.
Okay, questions from board members? I know I saw the correction in the title, certified.
Yes.
Dr. Rios?
No, sir, I just wanted to clarify that there are some campuses that because of numbers, it's better to have a rotation rather than a self-contained room. The compensation plan as written would have sufficed for us to move forward and pay them. However, that is not what we had initially communicated to the board, so we wanted to bring that clarification and ask for your approval.
So, there being no questions, would you read the recommendation, please?
Yes, sir. It is the recommendation of the administration that the Board of Trustees approve updates to the 2019-2020 district compensation plans as presented.
Thank you very much. Now I will entertain a motion for approval. Amy Haynes, seconded by Ms. Gonzalez. All those in favor, please indicate by raising your right hand. Motion carries unanimously.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes. Dr. Rich?
Because after this agenda item, we're gonna, the campus principals are gonna go, and then we won't have a chance to say this. But today was a student holiday. It was a wonderful day, MLK Day. But even though it was a holiday, your staff brought in so many students, whether it was for the choir presentation or to present acknowledgement to the board for all the incredible work that they do. So please, tomorrow, on behalf of the Board of Trustees and Superintendent, thank them, because I know how difficult it is to bring students in on holidays and even the teachers. So thank you all so much, and this will be the last agenda item, then we'll see you on campus tomorrow.
I also want to say thank you to the sponsors of the bill, Kayla Lopez Rodriguez, for taking her group and to the MLK March. It's great to see our students participate in that. Thank you. Next item we have is 14B, consideration to approve submittal of application for Impact 8. Aide Garcia.
Yes, sir. Every year we ask for your approval for us to submit the application for Impact 8. This is to assist our school with any property tax revenue that we could have lost because of the tax exempt properties. So if there's any questions, we added a copy of the application to your packet, and we would like to request approval to submit it.
Any questions from board members? This is an annual thing that we do every year. Recommendation, please.
Sure. It is a recommendation of the administration that the Board of Trustees approve to submit the application for grant under the Impact Aid Section 7003 and for the superintendent to sign the application.
Thank you very much. I will entertain a motion for approval. Mr. Contreras, seconded by Mrs. Webb. All those in favor? Motion carries unanimously. Thank you very much. Okay. At this time, we're on item 17. We will go into closed session regarding items permitted by sections 551.071, 551.072, 551.073, 551.074, 551.076, 551.082, 551.0821, 551.084, and 551.087 of the Government Code, Texas Open Meetings Act. If a final vote is required, it will be taken